Ladies, before you buy your next vehicle, let me put you onto a few things that the dealership hopes that you don't know about. First thing that they're hoping that you don't know is that everything is negotiable. And I'm not just talking about cars, I'm talking about almost everything in life. You can negotiate. Don't just pay the price because someone told you that's what it was. And one thing to keep in mind when negotiating is do not fall in love with the car before you agree on the numbers. Because once they know that you are in love with this car, you lose all negotiating power. Number two is decide whether or not you want to buy new or used before you go into the dealership. You don't want to be in a situation where someone is telling you what you should do rather than you already having your mind made up, because a lot of times when that happens, you will leave the dealership feeling took. Don't let them talk you into anything. Number three, and my personal advice, is to go to a credit union first. If you do not currently bank with a credit union, go open an account, because 9 times out of 10, the interest rates, the APR, is a lot better at the credit union than what you'll get when you go into the dealership and they go search for financiers. When you go to the credit union, find out what the max loan amount you can take out is and find out what your interest rate will look like. Because one of the best things that you can do is purchase your car from the dealership, get all of the perks, and then refinance for a lower interest rate. Next, you want to find out what your gap in warranty would look like if you purchase that through your credit union. Sometimes gap is less and warranty is more. Sometimes it's the other way around. But you want to make sure that overall you are going to come out on top. Essentially, what you're doing is your homework before you go into the dealership and let them tell you what you should do. Next, you want to find out what perks you actually get when you purchase and finance through the dealership. Because if they're going to give you free oil changes, rebates, service credits, maintenance, etc., you want to get all of those before you refinance. And make sure you get all of those add-ons in writing. You never want to go off of the sales guy told me. The next thing, and this is a huge one because a lot of people forget to do this, take a screenshot of the entire car listing before they take it down. That happened to me was a few years back. I purchased a vehicle and I realized after I drove off the lot that one of the features that was on the ad was not actually on the car. So I drove back and told them that they need to rectify the situation. They tried to convince me that that's not true, but luckily I had that full page screenshot showing that this is what they advertised. And I actually worked for a car company, so I knew that they had to cut me a check for this discrepancy. Which leads to my next point. Make sure that they fulfill everything that you have added on or that was in that listing, because they will try to get away with not fulfilling them. This screenshot is your proof of the mileage, the packages, the price, and the features of the vehicle. So make sure that everything is true even after you purchase. Save that evidence. The next thing that they're hoping that you don't know is to not tell them your monthly maximum. Do not tell them how much you're willing to pay monthly, because suddenly I can afford $700 will quickly become a $699 car payment for 100 months. So it's best to negotiate the out the door price. You want to make sure that this price that you end up paying out the door is coupled with your tax, title, license. Everything is in this price. Negotiate. So next, you want to compare all of those numbers to what you would pay if you went ahead and financed with your credit union. If the numbers look better with your credit union, but you want those perks from the dealership, finance with the dealership, but look over that contract and make sure that there are no prepayment penalties or that there's no requirement to keep the loan for a certain period of time before refinancing. The next thing is refinance as soon as possible. One thing that a lot of people do not know is that early on in paying your car payments, a lot of that goes towards interest, not principal. What that means is the amount of money you paid on that car note, only a small percentage of it goes to actually paying off that car. So if you're able to refinance before making that first car payment, you've additionally bought yourself some time before making your first car payment, and you've saved yourself from paying extra in interest that you do not have to. And finally, you can walk away. You do not have to purchase a car from them. I don't care how much time, how much effort that you have spent in that dealership with that salesman. You don't owe them anything. You are there to get what you want, not what they want to give you. Let me know if this helped you in any way. Let me know if I missed anything that you have experienced. But this is my list, and these are things that I've learned over the years of buying a car So that's all. Bye.